What's up, everyone? Matt back with another real review. That's right, you got Fall Guy yesterday. You're getting this today on the release day of this latest flick, and that is none other than The Idea of You. Now, let's be honest. I am not the target audience for this film. Um, unless you want the idea to be a guy who has a crush on Anne Hathaway because she's been one of my celebrity crushes since I was like 12. Um, however, I do this because I like talking about films. I give every film a chance. So sometimes films happen to be a pleasant surprise. Sometimes they don't. This one kind of falls in the middle, more so leaning towards surprise because this is an Amazon studio film, and at the end of the day, it's not like they're putting out hits and upon hits upon hits. A lot of their good films tend to come from the MGM releases that we get with Amazon or Orion. So going into this, I was a little scared. However, when you have one of my favorite working directors, Michael Showalter, and you also have one of my favorite actresses of all time, in Anne Hathaway, I am going to give you a fair shake. With that being said, this movie is a perfectly fine film. It's not great, but it does go on to be more than you expect it to be. As someone who is a firm believer is once you hit adulthood, age is just a number. It doesn't matter if you're 10 years older or if she's 20 years, like, it doesn't matter. As long as you're two consenting adults, age shouldn't matter, especially when love comes into the picture. So, this film is about a 40-year-old divorcee single mom who has to take her daughter to Coachella. It was a birthday gift from her dad. Dad pulled out last minute, couldn't take her daughter and her friends, and they're going to see what used to be her daughter's favorite boy band growing up. Well, just so happens she falls for the biggest member of said boy band, and he falls harder for her. After a fun meet cute where she was looking, they had VIP passes. She was looking for the bathrooms, and she accidentally ends up in his trailer. So that's kind of where our love story starts, and it's just a fun, interesting journey, especially because she's her own boss. She owns an art gallery. She puts spotlight on these underappreciated artists and gets their work sold. And when he's looking for a reason to see her again, he finds her art gallery and does the cute romantic thing as someone with money has, and that's buy everything he possibly can. And that frees up her schedule, and then she ends up going on this world tour with him on a whim because her daughter's away at camp, and she's getting to experience this just whirlwind romance with a 24-year-old boy or 24-year-old young man. And this is one of those stories where if you tell it in any improper way, it could come off as sleazy, whether it be Anne Hathaway with younger man or an older actor like what Martin Freeman is going through currently with Miller's Girl, where he has this age gap between him and Jenna Ortega, and people are freaking out about that. But ultimately, Anne Hathaway's performance is just top notch. It's hard to think of a movie where she hasn't brought her A game, and for an Amazon direct to streaming film, she has brought her A game. Michael Showalter handles this story with such tenderness and care. It's just weird to think and I'm not saying the age gap is weird. Like I said, age is just a number, but this isn't something you get a lot of light shed on in film when there's an age gap like this. So when you have that, it's one of those things of, okay, well, this is what we're doing. Okay, let's let's rock with it. So I want to give Showalter props for his direction because this could have gone numerous different ways, and I want to give props to just how the script was handled as a whole. It's not the best film because while I'm giving those two props, this does have the rom-com elements that are kind of cliche or just not fun, I guess is the best way to put it. So between that and also just how kid-like some of the reactions are to their romance, because of course there is backlash and it's very realistic backlash. I'm a little I was a little upset by people, like there's people viewing her as a predator, and it's like there's this 24-year-old guy. He has every right in the world to be with this woman if he so chooses and if she chooses back. She did not go after him, he went after her. So to take things out on her because all these other moms and whatnot have crushes on him, and wish they were in her situation. That the jealousy of it, yeah, that was a little bit annoying and just. But I also understood it. Ultimately, I'm gonna put this film right in the middle. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. It's a fun little rom-com based on a movie. One performance stands above all others. The story is cut and dry. You know what you're getting. There's nothing special, but if you want to watch this movie with a loved one or your a significant other, it's a nice little date night at home. So 3 out of 5 personally. That's just me being fair to it. I'm not gonna bash it for being a chick flick. It is a very solid romance film. So check it out. With that being said, also remember to check out Watt Gaming, our sister channel that is right here on YouTube, and go check out our Twitch, which is what the Watt Gaming channel just for. It's where all of our Twitch streams go to live after the fact, and that's twitch.tv/WattRealEnt. So just WattRealEnt, like it's spelled right there in that corner. But also, if you haven't already checked them out, check out our first ever cool food review for the channel, where I, for some reason, reviewed Blue Milk, and we're going to try to start reviewing more movie foods and drinks and things of that nature. But also, check out our review for The Fall Guy, which dropped yesterday, like I mentioned up at the top of the review. So, with that being said, folks, signing off, I am Matt. This was another Real Review, and we'll see you next time.